Okay, we're just going to do a little video here on budgeting your money, manage your income, monies, household bills, and budgeting as you're living independently. Alright, so the first thing we have here is our disability allowance. So that's how much we would get, the service users would get per week. We see here we have our disability allowance money on the table, and we've 220 euros. Okay, so we 250s, which is 100, we 520s, which is 100. So 250s plus 520s is 200 euros, and then we have the 220s, which brings up to 220 euros. All right, so that's the disability allowance there. We have it on the table there in relation to cash. We have Kevin, we have Emma, we have Stephen, and we have Margaret. So they're all participating in the class today. Okay, the first bill to come out of our disability allowance on a weekly basis would be our rent. Okay, so just moving over here. So our rent would be 20 euros a week. All right, so we're going to take the 20 out. So the 20 is gone. So that leaves us now with 200 euros a week after we've taken out our weekly rent. Okay, so our next bill that is going to come out is our gas. So our gas is working out on a week-to-week basis and would be 25 euros. So we have 200 euros left. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 40 220s. Okay, 220s, and we're going to put 15 back in. All right, so that leaves us with 100, 100, 120, 140, 160, 175 euros left after we pay our rent and our gas. Okay, our next bill is going to be our electricity bill. All right, so that's working out at 25 euros a week. Okay, so after our gas bill, we have 100, 120, 140, 160, 175 euros. Okay, so we're going to take 25 euros out of our disability allowance to pay for our electricity. So we're going to take 20 and we're going to take 5. Okay, so we just bring that closer to each other. So we're left with 250s, which is 100, and 220s, which brings up to 140. So we're left with 150 euros. All right, that's 150 euros after we pay our rent, our gas, our electricity on a week-to-week basis. And now our next weekly bill is going to be our phone credit. All right, so the phone credit is working out at 5 euros. Okay, so our phone credit is going to be working out at 5 euros. So we have 150 euros left. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're going to take the 10 euros out. Okay, and we're going to replace it with 5 euros. Okay, so after we pay our rent, our gas, our electricity, and our phone credits, we are now left with how much? 145 euros. Okay, 145 euros. So we see how quickly our 220 euros is starting to go. Okay, we're moving on now with the group. So our next weekly bill is going to be our TV, media, / internet, which would be Virgin, Sky, or BT. So that would work out in around 30 euros a week. That's the price that we've put on it. Okay, would be 120 euros a month, which would work out at 30 euros a week. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have 145 euros left. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 40 out, the 220s. Okay, we're going to take the 220s out and we're going to replace it with a 10. Alright, so that leaves us with how much? How much is that? 115 euros. Alright, so after we pay our rent, our gas, our electricity, our phone credit, our TV, media / internet package, which is 30 euros, we're left with 115 euros. Okay, so again, we can see how quickly our disability allowance is being eaten away in relation to expenses and bills. Okay, so we're moving on to our next bill. All right, so our next bill would be our food shopping. Wouldn't that be right? Yeah. Okay. So how much would we say? About 50 euros a week on food shopping. Yeah. All right. So if we were to spend 50 euros on food shopping, with what we have left out, what we have left, if we take 50 out, that leaves it with how much? 65 euros. So we've 65 euros left after we pay for our rent, our gas, our electricity, okay, our phone credit, our multimedia, and our food shopping. All right, so we've 65 euros left out of our 120 euros, which is not an awful lot of money. So we're just up to expenses now here with the group, which is 20 euros. So we have 65 euros left. Okay, so we've 20 euros put in just for expenses. So you know, expenses could be anything that could pop up that week. So if we had 20 euros expenses for the week, what we're going to do is we're going to take the 50 and we're going to replace the 50 with 30. All right, so we're after taking our 20 euros expenses out. All right, so we started off at 220 euros a week, and we took out our rent, we took out our gas, and we took out our electricity, we took out our phone credit, we took out our TV, media, internet, Virgin or Sky, which is 30, our food shop, and we're down to expenses. So after expenses, how much are we left with? 45 euros. Okay, so we're left with 45 euros out of 220 euros. So the next expense that we came up with would be our social outing, which could be a social outing would be our gym, wouldn't it? Our arts club, our subs for our Special Olympic club. So we came up with a figure of 20 euros for our social outing, which would be the gym, arts club, or a social club. It could be subs, or it could be just expenses just to attend the activity. All right, so if we were to take the 20 out of our 45, that would leave us with how much? How much have we got left now? 25. So we've 25 euros out of our 220, which is our rent is gone, our gas, our electricity, our phone credit, our TV, media, internet package, our food shopping, our expenses, and we're down to our social outing. All right, so out of our 220 euros, we're left with how much? 25 euros. 25 euros. Last expense we came up with was to the savings, saving for a rainy day. Okay, so saving for a rainy day, what would that mean? Household expenses, wouldn't it? Yeah. What happens if the washing machine breaks down?
We need to pay for that.
Pay for that. Okay, if it needs to be replaced, we have to pay for it. Okay, so it's best to budget, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've all agreed that 20 euros a week would be the amount that we would put away. Would that be right?
Yeah.
20 euros a week would be the figure that we put away just in case our fridge or our washing machine or our electric cooker broke down. So if we were to put that 20 euros away, okay, just in case anything was to pop up, or you know, something was to get broken, or we need it for a rainy day, how much are we left now? How much are we left now? Out of 220 euros a week, we're left with 5 euros. Okay, so we're left with 5 euros out of our 220 euros a week in relation to expenses. All right, so our disability allowance is how much? 220, is that right? Yeah. Okay, so we have our rent, which is 20. We have our gas, 25. Our electricity, 25. Our phone credit, which is 5. Our TV, media, internet package, 30 euros a week. Our food shopping would be about 50 euros, would that be right? Okay, our expenses would be 20. Our social outing expenses, which work out at 20. Our saving for a rainy day, which would be 20. So 215 a week would be our expenses, which would leave us with €5. Okay, that's not an awful lot of money, sure it's not. Okay, so we've got to be wise in relation to the way we manage our money. Would that be agreed?
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Kevin?
Yeah.
What do you think, Emma?
Yeah.
What do you think, Stephen?
Yeah.
And what would you say, Margaret? Would you agree?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.